Hey everyone, welcome to the Insomnia stream. So I'm James, working on the Insomnia team, and with me I have Dimitri. You're also James, by the way, on the window, or at least on my window.
James here. Okay, technicality. Let me see here. If I change it here, is it going to change it for you too? There we go. Right.
All right.
Dimitri, the Americanized version for Dimitri is James, so I guess it's technically accurate for both the
Yeah,
names.
yeah. I'm also Dimitri, so cool. All right. So, what do you think we should work for today? I saw a couple of interesting PRs on GitHub that have the label Insomnia Stream.
Let's do it.
Uh, so, let me quickly uh, try to share what I have. Um, oh, this window management is like a whole
You already
job.
did. You already did add it in the stream. You just have to click the little
Yeah, you're right.
button guy.
All right. Okay. When this happens.
Oh, I don't think you
Um,
need to sign in. I think. By the way, I think you can just go to the public repo.
is it HQ?
I think it's just Kong, and it's capital K. That it doesn't matter the capital.
Yeah, I don't think they did. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah, I think there's some. If you scroll, you might find one, and then you can just click the button. That's what I usually do, or click the little chip. That works too. Yeah.
have we can filter out the ones that we've marked for stream.
Uh,
Um,
Great. Philippe went through and added some of these, so this is cool. I haven't seen any of these, or at least all the ones.
from all these, like I took a very quick look, and for me, I think the most important one is trying to figure out if we can merge this guy, like support OpenAPI 303 in the Open API to Conk. It seems like it's a hard one because there's like this expectation from people to also have support for 3.1, but
Can you
it's
zoom in, by the way?
sorry.
Can you zoom in, by the way? Because like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
watching on phones, I watch on my phone.
Is it better now?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good. And
So
same
we're
thing.
gonna try to do the same one.
Yeah, I'm game for that. Let's do it. We get a lot of user requests for 3.0.3,
Yeah.
and it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since
I
this is.
commented on it. Okay, I always love to see one. What did I say? Is it embarrassing?
Oh, all right. So I wanted to show some love for this PR. Focused on TypeScript. Yeah. Uh, I think TypeScript is going to help us merge this easier. So I'm all in. um, cool. So there's some changes here. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to figure out what's going on. But let's just give it a quick look on what this PR is trying to do. Replace Swagger parser with YAML module as there's a breaking chains in NX. Again, some replacement of a class thingy and a test case for 303. And there's the issue, which has been, I think, transformed into a discussion. Let's go to discussion. Was that what I was looking for? Yeah, all right. Yeah. So we have this PR for last year, and we should probably try to merge this as quickly as we can. But there's also 3.1. It's more like a breaking chains. So that's probably going to be a bigger chunk of work. But we could give it a try for 303. What do you think?
Sounds great. Yeah, we definitely need to move this guy along, and I think some things have changed a little bit too. Like, do we have that YAML repo? I'm not sure.
Um, I don't know. Um, oops. What did I just lose my thing? Okay. Um, that's the PR.
Okay.
Okay, there's some
On my side.
fallback. Okay, we're gonna have to move it forward, I guess, as a first step. Um, so okay,
I wonder why the Swagger parser exposed the YAML parser as well. That seems kind of strange.
YAML parser.
Like before we were using the Swagger parser dot parse. Like I wonder why they did that. Like
Hmm.
this author added the YAML dependency where it wasn't there before in order to update the Swagger parser and not use their bug. Is that okay? Wait, here's a question we should be asking because it's been like a year and a half. Is that oh, it's a breaking change? I was gonna say, is the bug still there? But oh wow, they haven't pushed. It's still 10.0.0 is the latest
Mm-hmm.
for Swagger parser. So they haven't. They removed the YAML export and they recommend using stoplight YAML instead. Well, we're not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Go to the here. I'll send you.
Okay. Um, I'm looking how can I search here, but I don't see my can. It's just pissing me off. Because I would love to just do this thing in a one click. Um,
It's all good.
all right. Um, does that exist here?
Yeah. So on the site, just to show while James is setting that up to show people what I'm talking about. So the this is the Swagger parser. So like essentially we need to update the Swagger parser to support 3.0.3. We're on version 8 and we need to upgrade to version 10. But when they did that, they removed the YAML export, which is the thing we were depending on to parse the YAML in the first place. So we have to introduce like a separate YAML parser, which answers my question. Actually, I was asking why would they do that in the first place? It seems like they agree because they removed it. But yeah, that's the whole reason for that. We have YAML parser where I think we just used the YAML npm anyway. It was already in the package and it should still be there. So yeah, that's the whole reason, and it should be pretty simple after that. But all the same,
Yep. Let me pull the latest. Dev and check out this pull request. Mm,
do you have uncommitted changes? Why? How come that's failing?
what? No. All right. Okay, I should probably try to rebase this on develop.
Yep.
And my develop is the upstream, so
It's
that's
all JS from before. Like some of the changes were from the flow typed file, which we don't want at all. Like the YAML export, we don't want. It might honestly be easier to just. It's like 3 lines of code and then a test fixture. It might be easier to just like make a new branch or something. If you
out
look
of
at
it.
it, it's like 80% flow types, which of course we don't need anymore, and then the package lock changes, which will do it, will regenerate anyway, and then the dependency bump.
Okay. Um, so you mean like just make a new brands, copy pasta, whatever we have on this PR, and just put it in.
Yeah, I mean it's like literally a dependency update, and that's it. It seems like, and we had to add the we have to use the YAML parser.
Yeah, this thing is not an easy update, I guess. All right, I'm in. Let's cancel rebasing. Um, let's go to brands. An API spec 303.
Yep.
All right. And let's see what we updated in the PR. So I don't think we care so much about this. We definitely care about the Swagger bump in OpenAPI to Kong.
If you want to set up a live share, I can help with the fixtures too while you're doing that.
Oh, yeah, sure thing. All right. I'll just paste it here.
Great, I got it.
Cool.
Oh, it opened in the browser. I don't know if I can't decide if I hate when it does that or if I the VS Code live share opens in like browser. But anyway, it seems to work. Hashtag the future. All right, so I'm gonna grab the fixture and I'll work on that. Let's make sure that the YAML dependency is still in our project because it might not be there anymore. I don't know.
Swagger parser. We have 8.0.3, and the latest is 10.0.3. So I think it's worth bumping up.
That's interesting. I wonder why it doesn't show up on npm, like, or on GitHub. So like, you just saw it. I showed on GitHub the releases, and they don't have the patch releases. So I wonder if they don't publish patch releases to GitHub and they only do it to npm, which is kind of weird and non-standard. But that's definitely interesting.
Yeah. So if you look at the website they have on the packets, it shows the npm 10.3 thingy. So yeah, npm seems to have the correct
Yeah.
bump 7 months ago. All right, so oops. So we can just update this to latest. And do we also need to bump anything else? I don't think so. Here we're using YAML 1.7.2. Here we've upgraded, although it seems weird.
But we've already upgraded it since then, looks like.
Yeah. Guess I'll just run an npm install and check what's going on. But this is not going to work. I don't just need to run an npm install since this is inside packages. So I just need to run npm run bootstrap. And save this guy first.
I'm making the textures or the pictures as we're going here. So I hope that doesn't fail it. Well, you're just doing bootstraps, so it's not going to fail any test.
Yeah, hopefully. So then the code changes that enable the 3.3, at least as far as I see here, are just replacing. Sorry?
I was gonna say, do you think it matters if we have terminating new lines in the fixtures? The original tests didn't, but maybe it doesn't care. It probably doesn't care. I'm gonna add them anyway, just to be safe.
Yeah. Let me follow you. just so people can see the YAML stuff. We're building the fixer. 3.3.
So what is the thing added? Like we should probably look into like what is I always forget. Like basically 3.0.3 should have been 4.0 is like kind of my recollection that they made some very significant change.
Yeah, Will's made this a discussion, and he's saying there 3.1.0 is like full of breaking changes.
Oh,
So
3.1. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah,
Well, then
303 I think is like minimal changes. But from what I see here, yeah. Um, so the only change is Swagger parser gets updated, which means we get the support for free because Swagger parser supports the format. And then because they deprecated the YAML parse, we just need to do it on our own, and that's all. Seems like pretty straightforward, at least from a solution.
sure does.
So super thanks to API Saint.
And then we have to make the code change though.
Yeah, the code change happened before in the index where we tried to parse the thing in OpenAPI.
I'm gonna make sure that we didn't. So I'm just searching for that import. I'm gonna make sure we didn't use it anywhere. We didn't like add a parse in between now and then. It doesn't look like we did. It's just in that generate. It's gone. Wait, what?
Yeah, because now the thing has changed, like the
Oh, so
OpenAPI to
that's all
conf.
we needed to do all along was it was already ready to go. Okay, it's embarrassing.
Um, let's see. OpenAPI types declarative config generate.
Yeah, in generate, there it is. YAML.parse in the parse spec. Generate from spec. Yeah, it's in the parse spec. Yeah, it already got replaced. When I don't have git lens, do you have git lens? It's on. If you follow me, it's on line 25 with generate.ts.
All right. Yep.
When was that? I did it 10 months ago. Okay.
Cool.
That's really adds some salt to the wound there. So we could have just bumped the dependency and then that's that.
Yeah, could be. Let's try to test it because do we have a 3.0.3 thingy? No. So many package locks, but only one YAML.
Yeah, that's the fixture I just added.
Yeah. So let's try to test it because that's even better if we just need to add a test case and just bump a version and it should work. Expected YAML. We should add a test case to where was this happening on the thing? All right. So we have the fixtures test. Is it just automatically running all the fixtures?
It sure does. Yeah. I
All
split
right.
it up a little while ago. It was a bit of a judgment call. I split up the fixtures to run like there's two paths basically. Like one is the OpenAPI to Kong path, and one is the declarative config path, and one is the Kubernetes path. And they both have their own separate fixtures. It was originally written to be generic so that like you could put anything in there. But the thing is like I wanted to kind of keep the sides separate. So the like fixture.test.ts file, it's like sort of duplicated, but it's like 15 lines of code, and then things can stay isolated. There are really different concerns, like taking an OpenAPI config and converting it to Kong for Kubernetes versus declarative config. There's like nothing in common. So I split it up. Also, in the past, there were no fixture tests for Kubernetes, and I at least added one. So that was the other reason.
Yep, yep.
It's in the declarative config side now.
All right. That's super cool because that means we just have to run the tests to verify the thing, right?
Right.
So if I go into this package.json, we have a test. So I'm trying to remember by heart what's the lerna command, but I think it's like lerna exec or run uh, to run a script inside, just a specific script inside a thing. Um, let's see, lerna run build, blah, blah, blah.
You can do the like oh, do we have a live share? Wait, are we
Yeah,
sharing yeah, we are sharing Z Shell. You use Z Shell?
yep.
You got to show me how to use Z Shell. I'm not cool enough yet. If I have, can you see me typing in here? Oh, it's a read-only terminal. Well, anyway, you can do the prefix like npm run prefix uh, package packages slash open API to Kong.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, do I need an equals?
I never put one. Maybe you do on Mac. You're on Mac, right?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
no, I think it's all right. Uh,
You can just tab, should complete. And then you can just write test and it should do it. Or like space test. Yeah, exactly.
cool.
That's the hack. But the reason this is good over the reason Lerna is really terrible and this is way better is because Jest is doing all this stuff to like um oh, okay. You know what this could be? Some things have changed in the meantime since this test was made. We've like added tagged stuff and other things. So we probably need to update the fixture. But that's good.
All
Let's
right.
look at let's look at those changes though, because I want to make sure we're not like actually coding in a bug, you know.
Yep. So URL has become host. At least from what I see here, we got URL. We got extra stuff as host, extra path thing, an extra port, and the protocol. Uh,
And we added it to upstreams. Interesting.
no, that's okay, I think, right? Or no?
Servers. Yeah, I think that is, but I'm wondering why this was ever correct in the first place. Like, how did this ever? Maybe it, okay, maybe it never did pass anyway. But I would have expected what was in the PR already to pass.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what it could also have been? I think when I updated the fixtures 10 months ago, I also changed it to use the like strict equality check instead of the contains object, which it was doing before, which meant that you could skip properties that were previously like missing from the expected. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So maybe that's why there was stuff missing because it was actually passing before because it was more permissive and I made it more strict. I think maybe. Who knows? Maybe that's not true, but that
All
would
right.
explain. So then we also need to add. Can I run it here as well? I can't see your terminal, unfortunately.
We're still not getting the URL and the upstream, so
This is you're looking at the wrong file for one
yeah,
thing.
sorry.
So
I was just looking for an example, other
oh,
example, to see if there's like a huge diff.
oh, yes. Well, definitely like Hmm. Is it in the wrong place in the JSON? No. No, it's just missing. Or what is that? Oh
Yeah.
wait, it was what does the green mean right now? I always mix that up. It was expected, but it didn't show up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So before we got like this extra stuff, we got the host, the path, the port, uh, whatever. Now I put them there because that's what happens when you pass this thing through them. Uh, but it's still not giving us back these.
Maybe that's correct. Let's look at some of these other. Yeah, like if you look at some of these other expected, okay, that's what you were doing. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
understand. But if you look at these other expected ones, like none of them have an upstream. Uh,
Uh,
oh, one of them does. The HTTP bin has an upstream thingamajig.
yeah.
I wonder what causes that.
Um,
Like what is it? Oh, it's such a long. See, this is the downside of your tests is it's hard to see like piecewise.
yeah.
It's a 866 line test, so
Hmm.
mhm.
Samples.
Servers. So okay, so what it wants you to do is remove the upstream section entirely. Is that right?
Well, I mean, I could remove it, but if it's something that's expected,
I know what you mean. Um,
then we're just making the tests happy, but the tests
right.
are wrong.
I don't
Um,
actually know. See, I don't know. We have to ask Tice. I mean, I don't know enough about the declarative config intended result to say one way or the other.
yeah, yeah. Um,
We can try to get. Let me see. Let me see if we can ping some other people at Kong here who might know. Oh, James, by the way, see if maybe we can move that. Can you move your? Oops. I think only you can do it. The overlay for we got a chat message that the overlay for the your name covers up your covers up your terminal. I think you can click on the where it says James in Restream and move it over.
hmm.
Maybe, or maybe it.
No.
Nope.
Uh,
Should
oh
we
wait,
just not have names?
I can change the overlay. So there's like an overlay that has the thing. No.
But that's for like the whole screen, I think. Well, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I wonder.
All right. I can hack this.
Just do that.
Here
Okay.
we go.
Cool. Okay.
Cool.
Whatever works. Let's go with it. So I tried once to just edit my name to be empty to see if that would like make it not have a tag in the shared thing because it's kind of annoying, but it doesn't seem like that does it. But okay.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out we're going to have to get into the weeds a little bit to answer this question. We need to figure out if the declarative config expects it depends on that upstreams section from being there.
Right. I found a smaller example with something that generates upstreams.
Okay, great.
This API with examples
Okay.
is doing it.
Here, 200 lines. So, okay.
It's a bit easier to digest. I mean, yeah, that's
So it looks to me like the information from the upstream comes from like xcong upstream defaults. Like that seems like it's pretty close to what is being generated in the output. Yeah, it has like hash on health checks. It's basically, yeah, I mean, it's basically that. I'm going to search Insomnia's repo because I remember working on this with something with upstreams.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to find what the targets
Got it.
is.
Yep, I found the PR.
Mhm.
So if you go to GitHub, it's pull request 4105
Uh,
by Jack.
4105.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're in good. I think we're going to be in good shape. And so in here, it's doing what I was just talking about. See, he removed upstreams for a lot of them.
Yeah.
So what we should, okay, we can cross check this. Xcong upstream defaults. So we should see that the 3 fixtures that have upstreams generated also have Xcong upstream defaults. That one we were looking at does, but I think the other 2 do not. Maybe there's one more way you can get other than that Xcong override tag. Let's look at the source code here. Um, Oh, there's tests for this. Wow, thank you, Jack. Okay, Jack added tests. If you go to common.test.ts, okay, these unit tests should give us all the information we need. So I think it's like line 300 thereabouts. Yeah.
Right.
So given no super, yeah, that's great. Given no server URL, it should have no upstreams. Got it. Given one server URL, it should have no upstreams. That's exactly the case we're hitting. Giving one server URL and an XCON defaults, it should have the upstream. That's the case that we're hitting in the API with examples thing.
Correct.
The server URLs, it should have upstreams. And that's the case we're hitting with the other 2 that have upstream URLs.
Awesome. So
Wow.
that means just because we have one URL, we shouldn't have an upstream generated, so we're good.
So
if we had an extra one,
yes.
let's just run the test, see what's going on.
Oh, that's a good way to do it. Wow. We're gonna have to clip that out and send a love letter to Jack for
Yeah.
It's super clear now that we see that test.
Yeah. Okay, so now we got upstreams, which is great. I mean, that stuff doesn't matter, but who cares? The name is like generated, so probably we changed how the names get generated, and extra stuff that we don't care since this is just a test. So this one covers 303 support at least. There might be details that we don't know. So we're going to have to test this a bit more, but I think it's definitely a great step forward. I'm highly confident we can probably merge this.
Yep. I am as well.
Since all the tests pass and we're not breaking anything and we're also just upgrading our Swagger, I don't even see why we shouldn't merge this and see if it solves the 303 problems in general.
Yeah. Well, we're releasing. So okay, that's another point to bring up for anyone listening. It's not super official, so you're getting this ahead of the stream there for a bit, or ahead of the pipeline. But we're trying to release betas every Thursday now. And if we can merge this today, that means that this will be in the next beta, or is most likely to be in the next beta. Sometimes we cherry pick stuff, so I don't want to make a promise on that, but it'll definitely be in the one after that. So that means that whoever's trying to test the OpenAPI 3.03 stuff can test it on that beta, which would be sweet. And I don't have any, I mean, from a review standpoint, this can immediately be approved, I think.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Always happy when we can get stuff merged in on the stream. That's super nice.
All right, so we got some time left, so let's just waste the whole time to find how we're going to name the commit. I would say update Swagger parser and support OpenAPI spec 3.3.
Sweet. Do you make pull requests right from GitHub or right from VS Code?
No.
Do it the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, usually, yeah. that sometimes I will make one, but then I will get lost in the UI, and then I'm like, yeah, I should probably try this somewhere where it's safe. And then I never do that. So then I always like have this fear: what if I press this thing and it does some bad stuff? Which like I don't have something, but I also need to clean how my
Why don't,
typically timing
for the
happens.
sake of time, like, what about if we just pause on this and we can push this up after the stream after a few minutes and we look at some new issues because it's kind of like busy work from here to get
Yeah,
merged.
correct. Um, so while I'm doing that, I'll be pushing that and making a
How
PR.
about this? I can drive for a second because I already have my screen shared or whatever, and then you can do that in the background. Does that sound good?
Awesome. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, cool. So here we are. I'll full screen this. I don't know why it showed our discussions, but let's go back. So this is what I do to find the stream. I scroll down and I click the little pill there, and then it shows me all the things that we have on the stream. So we look at pull requests first. I think there may be some issues that are tagged for this to look at during the stream, but pull requests always have highest priority. So reclaim focus on address bar after focus is lost by curl import. Oh, interesting. I didn't know this was a bug. Yikes. That curl import feature is a really important one in Insomnia, actually. At least I think it is because I use it a lot. This implementation reclaims focus on the address bar every time it loses focus due to the key of the component changing. More about key change in this message. Okay. Okay. This approach is a shortcoming that the focus is always reclaimed at the end of the input, which might be different from the cursor position, for example, when clicking on the middle of the string. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So this is talking about the key it's talking about is a React key. So input had focus. This is exciting that somebody fixed it, but depressing that what we have to do to fix it. I'm very gracious for this change. But it's like we already have these code smells in here. Like we have this, we're comparing prev props uniqueness keys, and this has been like the bane of our existence, and it has been so painful in the app to deal with. We're trying really hard to like improve this, but it's the problem is that things are a little janky at the moment, and it's useful. Like it's so useful that this person found it and is using it. Um, so they're using the ref to set whether or not it had focus. So here's a question I would immediately ask: why does this need to be a class member? Couldn't I just grab it? Where does it actually get used? So couldn't I take? Oh, because it's in component will receive props lifecycle. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't know. Oh, it's a draft PR as well. Okay, so maybe they're okay. I shouldn't be too critical then. Maybe they're not intending for us to actually look at it yet. Sometimes people do that, or sometimes they like they just want to hear our thoughts before like asking for us to do anything. It's hard to say sometimes with draft PRs, but Philippe ran it and it works. Thanks for doing that, Philippe. Let's look at this related issue. So after June 17th, 2021. So this is fairly long ago. After creating or editing a request by pasting a curl into the address bar, the cursor will lose focus after pressing the backspace key. So let me show people like what this is talking about. Can I open Insomnia? Let me know whenever you're
It's a
ready.
hard one.
Huh?
It's a bit of a tough one. I gave a look at it a couple of months ago, and it's not like so straightforward what to change to support this.
Yeah, and we updated some stuff in our stack and on that side of things as well recently. So I want to show people like a example of why this matters, and like even if we don't find a solution today, just in a few minutes I can explain why this feature of Insomnia is so critical to some use cases. So like I'm gonna take you know, I don't know what this is. Okay, this is like some thing that I have from you know, some requests that I made on some random web page. And you know, you see here that there's all this stuff. Like I have a cookie. I hope there's nothing. Is there anything private here? I guess that's my GitHub
Your
cookie.
tokens?
Is there a token here? Can somebody impersonate me now that I streamed this?
Probably not.
Probably not. Well, yeah, actually, definitely, because they have my session cookie. All right. Well, I'm gonna log out and log back in after this. No big deal. But what you can do is you can copy as curl and like let me pull up a text editor and show like what that amounts to. So then I have all of this stuff. You see, there's my user session. I'll log out in a second. But anyway, you can take all of this stuff and then I already have it copied in my clipboard. I don't need to copy it again. And then you can come over to Insomnia and right here in the URL bar, you can paste and check out what happened. It's just the URL now. And look at that. All these stupid headers are here. I can click send and it works. Like it's working. Like this is me logged in. You know, it's gonna have like GitHub's gonna be like, wait, what's going on? But it's showing me like these are my notifications. You know, this is me. This is me. This is me logged in. You know,
Yeah, that's super impressive.
and that's really really cool. It's like one of my favorite all-time favorite features of Insomnia is the fact that you can do that with a curl request. And it becomes really critical if you have like something that you like some long thing, you can just come over here, make the request, like log in and make the speaking of which, I'm going to log out now. How do I do that? Sign out. There, session invalidated. Take that, red hats. But anyway, it can be pretty important if you're trying to debug something to use that kind of code path. And Insomnia does a really good job. I don't know if does Postman do that. I don't know if other tools have that feature, but the paste as curl thing is super cool. All right, how's it going over the? I'll log back in here.
There's a PR ready. I'm thinking if we have the time to jump into another PR.
Cool. Yeah.
So
Share your
I think
screen.
we can. I think we can jump it in. You know, just start it and leave it for next time. Or what do you think?
Sounds good to me. Do you wanna pick a new one, or I can say probably we're not going to get anywhere with the one we were just looking at because we need to think a little bit like about what we're going to do there. I'm glad that it's got brought up and like I can post the link to the stream to the people that are listening on that issue and they can see some of our rationale about it. Definitely there are bugs there. Like yeah, for sure. And we can fix them and maybe we should do like a quick thing in order to get it fixed. But there's some deeper problems with how we do focus management. And it's been an issue lately. We added some stuff to onboarding recently, which focuses the URL bar as soon as you start Insomnia for the very first time. And that was supposed to be easy, and it ended up being like soul crushingly difficult. We made it, we got it working, but it was a lot of hacks it took to get to the finish line, and it made us really take a step back and say, okay, we need to take a bigger look at how we do focus management, because focus management is like I mean, you probably know some, James, like, can you think of one? Like there are a whole library that all they do is focus management stuff because it's kind of a complicated topic, especially once you get accessibility, screen readers, tab focus, keyboard management.
Yeah. Also, if you have to support weird devices like I don't know, hybrid devices where they're like half touch screen,
Yeah.
but it can also be moved to whatever.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder to properly support these things. And I'm pretty sure you can go far with CSS and some stuff, but at some point you just need JavaScript to make
Yeah.
sure you can support some features.
Sweet.
Um,
Do you want to? We'll handle the open API. I was gonna say we can close the other like the prior PR from API Saint, but we'll do that later, or like link to the new one.
yeah,
Yeah. You wanna drive, and then we can pick a new one. We got 10 minutes.
yeah, we can start something else. Let me share my screen again. All right. So what else do we have? So this
But
guy, thanks and almost done. So now we have like a couple left. Um, this one is a draft. Um, okay, let's zoom in a bit. And phew,
that's the focus one. Postman import. I think we've looked at that Postman import before. What's VinStep? What's that one? Or yeah, whatever.
closes
Oh, we have it.
4214.
Okay. Set body type.
Oh, let's read it. I'm
Okay.
just taking a look behind because I see Felipe already approved on January.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Okay.
I see. Okay, there's some
Oh,
discussion.
oh God. Okay. What did I say? Yo, yes, this one. Okay. We could always do this. I feel bad about this. Sergey, if you're watching or listening, I'm sorry. We did look at this 2 streams ago, I think also adding some tests. We just need to add like a lot of tests for every code path here because a lot of code paths were updated. It looks like they're all right. I mean, it looks like they're all correct. It's not that. It's just that this is something we didn't have any test coverage for before, and we really want to have coverage for this. So we were in the process of writing tests for it. I think, yeah, James, you were here for that. We were.
Yeah, we were doing this together.
So maybe not this one. I think what we need to do is like this needs to be a ticket for an Insomnia team member to like just hunker down and get her done.
Yeah, there's, as you said, there's like many code paths, and it's not that the code is bad or something. It's just the tests. We just need to make sure it's covered. Um, but yeah,
What's this always
uh,
generate ID?
that's a work in progress.
Oh,
And then that's another one, Swagger 2 importer. So, okay, let's see the work in progress one. Perhaps we can talk about it. Vincent Depp, this pull request ensures the regeneration of the base environment when importing a collection. Okay. Into an existing, modifying the export type without losing all the exported environments. Breaks environments. Okay.
whoa. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, apparently I did know that. Okay, I promise everyone watching, I don't have amnesia.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing why everyone is like saying, think about yourself in 6 months from now
So many
when writing code.
issues. Like so, it's so funny to be like, I gotta just shut my mouth every time. Every time we've looked at one of these, I've responded to it, and
Okay, Opender made some comments that this might not be a regression. Felipe was able to reproduce.
so wait. Create a collection, export to JSON, delete it from Insomnia, create a new one. On the JSON file, replace all instances of the collection ID with an ID of the new empty collection. That's weird. Why would you do that? But okay. Import the edited JSON file into the new empty collection. We can see the environments in the environments drop down, but once we open them in the manage edit environments, they're missing. Oh, so the link is getting, it's not like, okay. So the database objects are there, but they're not being associated correctly.
Yeah. Okay, so the solution then that we see here, at least the work in progress one, is regenerate the base environment ID when importing a collection.
Okay.
I'm so afraid of this import file.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on.
It's handling a lot of cases. Oh, that's useful.
Stuff too, I think, isn't it?
Sorry?
Is this is so January or before? This is going to be prior to Playwright, won't it?
No. This page.click stuff, I think it's Playwright.
Oh, it
and
is.
Yeah. This is the playwright annotations.
But that
So
could be a flake too. That send requests thing used to flake a lot. Still does from time to time.
oh, that's a beta feature of GitHub actually. Unchanged files with check annotations. All right. Okay.
Oh,
So those are not like in here. Okay, got it. So all this thing is doing, all I mean,
yeah,
it's
the
not
website
so.
you have a fan, James.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Hey
saying.
Hussein, how are you doing, man? Um, okay, so what seems to be happening here is, um, yeah, it's checking the resource type. If it's this export type environment thing, um, then it's doing some magic to uh, put the environment ID inside, which seems like a lot. It's just 5 lines of code, but it's doing so much in so many places. Um,
It's really
I
strange.
think, yeah, I think the way for us to test this would be to probably figure out how the database models work. Um, and
I think I get it. Like it's what's happening. The bug is you can import the environment, but the workspace that it was imported to doesn't exist anymore. And so they don't line up. Like, see this like parent ID equals base environment ID key,
yeah,
line 202.
yeah, yeah,
That's the thing. So it's saying like if it's an export type environment and the parent ID doesn't exist or doesn't match,
then do that.
then do it. Then force it. I
Yeah,
mean, like this is a real problem because like, well, I mean, what else is the app supposed to do if like if you have the environment there? Otherwise, so this is a thing that I wish Insomnia had a better solution for. It is very possible to have so-called orphan database entities where they're there on the disk, they're there in the database. Insomnia can access them, but because they don't have the associated like the foreign key associative relationship matched to their parents, they're not actually accessible in the UI, despite the fact that the entities are there. And when things are screwed up from time to time, they can happen. And this is sort of an example of that, where we're trying to graft one environment into another by means of an import. Then we get this. So I don't know. We need to write tests for sure that simulate this environment. There's no tests in here, right?
yeah. So if for me, if I would feel confident merging this, I would need to add some tests to see like this use cases. I have a database. It looks like that. I import this thing, and then I get that result.
Yeah.
Um,
Preferably also a test that fails that shows what the existing bug is would be the best thing. Like a commit
yeah,
with a test that fails, and then another commit with this code that makes it pass. That would be like the best. This would get quickly merged probably if that was the case.
yeah,
Um, because then we can have we can have some faith that not only does this fix work, but that it won't break in the future. Cool.
all right. That seems like
You got it there.
yeah. Sorry.
Do you want to look at another one, or do you want to stop for today?
No, I think we're good. This one is already like making my brain melt, trying to understand all the relationships.
Same.
But it's pretty nice. I had some ideas about importing data. Currently, it happens on the main thread in the render, which means whenever we import like a big collection, um, it's gonna take some time, and it's getting the app slower. So there's some work to be done here, but we're gonna get there. I'm very hopeful,
That's cool. So
optimistic.
would you put it on a separate thread, or would you put it in worker, or would you just put it on the main process?
Um, Yeah, for now, I would try to put something on a worker process, but I'm guessing if we move forward with changing a lot of Insomnia's architecture, we might want to have another separate process just doing imports, just
Hmm.
that. But it's going to depend on a lot of things. If we need to read files or share data, but it's an interesting thing to improve. All right. All right, cool. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks, Dimitri, for everything on the stream. And see you the next time.